The rain had finally stopped, but the damp, biting cold of the Oregon woods still clung to the weathered timbers of Club Hearth. Inside, the grand stone fireplace had burned down to a bed of glowing embers. Marcus sat alone in the corner, wrapped in a coarse wool blanket. His hands trembled around a mug of hot coffee. Gray dust from the quarry still stained his face, and exhaustion weighed heavily on his eyes. Across from him sat Grandpa Joe. His short white hair reflected the fading firelight. His calm blue eyes rested gently on Marcus. After a long silence, Joe finally spoke. "You're lucky to be breathing." Marcus stared into his coffee. For several seconds, he couldn't find the words. Finally, he whispered, "I didn't know what else to do, Joe. My little girl, Lily, 6 months ago, she went into respiratory failure. The hospital bills didn't just empty my savings, they swallowed everything. Every day, I watched the debt grow, while my hope disappeared." Joe didn't interrupt. He simply listened. Marcus took a slow breath. "I worked logistics at the shipping yards near Portland. I knew how freight moved. I also knew there were containers that never appeared on public records. Dirty gambling money. Cash moved quietly from Vancouver. I kept telling myself I wasn't stealing from innocent people. I convinced myself I was stealing from criminals to save my daughter." For months, Marcus studied every shipment, every route, every schedule. Last night, he diverted one of those containers to an abandoned limestone quarry hidden deep inside the forest. When he broke the seals, he saw stacks of wooden crates. Inside them, $3 million, fresh $100 bills. For one brief moment, Marcus believed he had found the answer. He lowered his head. But desperation makes a man careless. The crane had already twisted part of the container. I never noticed. When I started dragging the crates out, the weight shifted. There was a loud crack, and then a 2-ton steel roof beam came crashing down. It pinned me across the chest. I couldn't move. I screamed for hours. There was nobody to hear me. Only the sound of the mountain groaning above me. Every creak, I thought the roof was about to bury me alive. Marcus slowly lifted his eyes. "But how did you find me? And how did you have the key?" Without a word, Grandpa Joe reached into his flannel pocket. He placed a large rusted iron key on the wooden counter. The heavy metal struck the wood with a dull thud. Joe looked at the key for a moment. Long before this became Club Hearth, this building belonged to the men who owned the timber mills and limestone quarries. During the labor strikes in the 1980s, that vault inside the quarry was built to protect company payroll. Only a handful of keys were ever made. He gently rested his hand on the old iron key. This one never left my pocket.
Joe looked back at Marcus. "You came here 3 days ago. You asked about the old quarry. Then you accidentally dropped a crane rental receipt. The receipt alone meant nothing, but your questions, the look in your eyes, and that piece of paper together told me enough. I couldn't be certain, but I knew where I needed to look." Joe paused. "So this morning, I took the key and I brought Miller with me." Marcus frowned. "Miller?" Joe smiled softly. "A man who came to me for help. He now drinks coffee in the back room almost every morning. It took both of us to lift that beam." Marcus remembered. The grinding steel, the shouting, fresh air rushing into the darkness. Only minutes after they pulled him free, the weakened roof collapsed. With a deafening roar, stone, steel, and $3 million disappeared beneath the mountain forever. Marcus buried his face in his hands. The money is gone. I almost threw away my life, and Lily is still sick. I have nothing. Joe leaned forward. No, you still have your life. You still have your daughter. And today, you still have the chance to make tomorrow different. Joe reached inside his coat. He removed a worn leather notebook. Its pages were filled with names, phone numbers, and handwritten notes gathered over a lifetime. When I was younger, I met a lot of people: doctors, lawyers, business owners, families who wanted to give something back after life humbled them. Joe smiled. I don't have $3 million, but sometimes people are worth more than money. He opened the notebook, removed a business card, and placed it in front of Marcus. While you were resting, I called an old friend. Marcus picked up the card. It's a charitable medical trust connected to the State Children's Hospital. They help families who have exhausted every honest path. Lily qualifies. They've agreed to take her case. Marcus stared at the card. His lips trembled. They're covering her treatment? Joe nodded. Completely. Legally. For several moments, Marcus couldn't speak. Tears quietly rolled down his face. Not because someone had handed him money, but because someone had handed him hope. For months, fear had convinced him that money was the only answer. He had become so consumed by desperation that he forgot something far more valuable: kindness, honesty, community, people willing to help. Joe stood and placed another log onto the fire. The flames slowly came back to life. We spend so much of our lives counting what is missing that we forget to count what has stayed. He looked gently at Marcus. You weren't saved by buried treasure. You were saved because before it was too late, you still had the courage to turn back. Outside, the first light of dawn slipped through the towering pine trees. Marcus closed his hand around the worn leather business card. He entered the forest chasing a fortune, but he walked out carrying something far more valuable: hope, a second chance, and the reminder that his daughter had never needed a millionaire. She simply needed her father.